It's a very big change of atmosphere, no? From this rushy song. We say this all the time, but it's true, right? Like now we have a nice ambience music. Hello, Peter. Happy Friday.
Hello, Enrique. Happy Friday. I'm just, it's the music on the beginning is really start to stressing me out. And so it just looks like a Lion King or something. So I'm just, but it's a good start of the season, the next season on our BIM Cafe. Welcome to our BIM Cafe, guys.
Welcome. Since we played for the first time on the first episode, I got it on my to-do list. Okay, let's try to look for a new clip, but there's not. There's always other things to go forward. But we can promise for the episode number 4, maybe we're gonna release some new soundtrack on the countdown.
Guys, but that's okay. It's not about the music. It's about the BIM. It's about the way how we will transform the construction industry. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for watching on replay. This is great to see you all. Thank you for all of the comments which you give us last 7 days. It's sometimes becoming a little bit overwhelming, so sorry for not replying immediately for all of your requests and all of your mails. We are mostly packed for this season for interviews, so if you are interested, just give us also the sign. But we are just closing really the whole agenda, so just do not hesitate to call. But we really potentially put you on the next season, and I think that's it. And don't forget to subscribe.
It's not a button, but we have the logo of YouTube, no? Fantastic. Well, let's start with today's episode. Peter, what do you think? Who we have today? Do you remember?
I do remember that we will talk about the governments and the BIM in the governments.
Exactly. We're gonna cross the ocean in our west side. We're gonna go to South America. I'm gonna talk with Vivian Diaz. Vivian Diaz is an architect. She's been working with BIM for several years already, trying to implement it in Venezuela. And that will be today our focus there, no? So how the majority of BIM is being implemented in Venezuela. The biggest topic we can start from this interview, which will be released after our live streaming right now, will be that we need the help from the government to make this happen. Okay, this is more or less what Vivian was trying to tell us, that they are doing as much as they can from the private sector, but they need the collaboration. So the interview is about how to put in harmony, synchronize all those private and public sector and make it happen to get the most of it.
Very good.
Fantastic.
Okay. So
let's become serious. We're going to switch on the music here. Let's play our first clip. Okay, so first of all, question to Vivian was, how is BIM in Venezuela? Okay, so as she would say, it's an 8-year-old kid.
El BIM en Venezuela sería un niño de 8 años, porque lo que se ha construido, tenemos un primer estándar BIM enmarcado en el Colegio de Ingenieros, se está dando el primer proyecto BIM de las sedes del Colegio de Ingenieros, que lo está llevando DataLine. Yo he realizado, o sea, realmente hemos detectado dentro de este movimiento que existe un grueso grupo de profesionales que ofrecen servicios fuera del país sobre BIM. Se preparan, se forman en máster en España, en otras latitudes, y refieren desde el país y ofrecen servicios BIM como proyectos de diversos índoles, pero a nivel del Estado estamos ahorita acercándonos realmente para consolidar ya una política nacional. Entonces, por eso digo que es un niño de 8 años que está en proceso de entrar en la preadolescencia. La preadolescencia, y que bueno, vamos enrumbado de la mano del Colegio de Ingenieros para ya construir, y se ha hablado con varias personas de varios ministerios, obras públicas, de la mano de la vicepresidencia, varias entes para definir una política pública. Existen ya 2 propuestas de leyes que está en discusión con la Asamblea Nacional en primera revisión. Entonces estamos construyendo las bases, ya existe una ruta BIM, pero hay que establecer la definición formal de la mano del de la administración pública del país para que tome fuerza el movimiento. Pero sí se ha hecho mucho desde la empresa privada.
So that's what I understood, just the capacity is still not there. When I understood that she's saying that we are just, this is the new baby coming in, right? So this is the new creature. And there are not so knowledge on the market, so just they need some external help to go with the extra resources. So yeah, we can help, by the way, guys, right?
Yeah, I like this definition from Bill and say, okay, it's an 8-year-old boy, very, very active. He wants to do everything, but still cannot work by himself or cook his own breakfast, stuff like that. So he needs help, and she's mentioning as well a couple of good points, like there is many people who either from Venezuela that go away to get formation and expertise in BIM, and they provide the services, or they get in the help and from the consultants and consultant like we also do for many of our clients to start to draft those BEP, the execution plans, to draft the bills and help them, the internal consultants of the government like she is, to create this implementation on the public administration level. So again, how important is on this first phase to come with an expert voice from external side to help you. Either you're a public company or a private company, you don't know it by yourself, you need to get the education, the help first to start to create it, not to plant it on you.
But it looks very normal, Enrique. I remember many times when digital transformation, usually there is a good buzzwords, in terms of how you do, but when you start putting your hands into the projects or into the process, it looks that there is not so many people really understand it, how it works, and you really need to get the experts, because otherwise you will just for nothing. So I remember it. And why we have this when I was working in G, we always try just to get into the good experts on the domain to make sure that we can get it. So usually we have the good people who work on the projects, but also the one or two experts, the architects, not the architects in terms of the construction, but the architects from the system perspective to really drive this kind of thing. So yeah, that makes good sense.
And also to it's not to discourage people to try things by themselves, but if you try to face such a challenge, which is implementing BIM by yourself, think about, maybe you succeed and you learn and you can do something, but think about the amount of time you're investing on that. Is it not wise to spend that time on your task and get this money, or because your time is also money, on other people's help? So these are also a good balance. Like we try to do things by ourselves. Maybe we succeed, but we make it happen in 3 months. Instead, we will do it with external help, which costs the same that the time we invest in 1 month, for example. So, and you can still progress on your task or on your routine.
Sure. That you can watch one things only, right? Because you will have a lot of companies coming and telling you that they promise the miracles, and they will have the thousands of people, etc. And at the end, you paying per hour, right? Per day, whatever. So you really need to make sure that you put the control mechanism in place to make sure that you are not overcharged for nothing, right? And even in our company, we have sometimes the examples of the people saying just, I spent the 10 days with you, and I said, but where are the value? What you have done? Oh, I was waiting for you to tell me what to do, right? And they still try to charge you for 10 days, right? So let's make sure that, we can help it as well with it. And just because with our experience, we know how to manage this kind of contracts. But guys, make sure that you have a lot of attention into details of the contractual part and how you settle the hours.
This also to put here like a self-promotion. I remember the interview we had with Natalia. She was talking about that, how they also handle these things. So to put a balance between don't babysit and also help people. So you cannot be like 5 years implementation. This is not something you can do it, but defining the stages from the beginning so everyone know what happened, not just month by month and ongoing without a clear goal at the end. It's important things to consider when you look for external help, for sure.
See.
Good learning Spanish with our interviews also, right, Peter? Fantastic. Let's jump on the second one. So as we said, as Vivian said, they are drafting this first bill proposal from the government to have a proper public BIM implementation plan. So let's take a look what she's stating details about it.
Okay.
Nace de una iniciativa privada, ¿verdad?
Uh-huh.
Y el brazo público es el Colegio de Ingenieros, porque es un ente de gremio, es un gremio, pero no tenemos acercamiento. Como política del Estado todavía no se ha consolidado un planteamiento formal. Queda definirlo dentro del ámbito de política pública en el país. Esa es realmente la aclaratoria que yo quiero indicar.
Sí.
Ha habido muchos encuentros, pero hay que definir la política pública BIM en nuestro país.
Entonces, digamos que para que este niño de 8 años pegue el salto a la pubertad y a la adolescencia, hace falta que el Estado, ¿no? le dé un poco más, ¿no? Porque la parte privada ya está haciendo casi el máximo, ¿no? Por pegar este salto de madurez, pero todavía falta eso un poquito de Estado. Genial. Do you like my metaphor?
To the kid, we get into the kid and parent relationship. I'm not sure if we're really good on the BIM one, but that's okay. I hear you guys.
No, but going to the point what Vivian is sharing here, that this is okay. We are trying to help our nephew as much as we can, but if the parent doesn't really put on their side, this is never going to happen, no? Because at the end, this is a thing that we need to take care between both parties, you know, private and public sector, and they are working together, getting external help. But you need to have this build pass, you need to have this intention to move forward.
Yeah, but you know, from the other side, I don't believe it. Sorry, maybe it's completely opposite what we were just saying. But if this is only government driven, it means the regulation, it means bureaucracy, it means the slowing process. So it's just they can use it as a slow down part, not as a going faster.
Totally.
I have nothing against the governments. I really like all of them, and especially French, Polish, Spanish, German. I like all of them. So and Belgium as well. But you know, if you think about the administration, it's really overloaded with the procedures and tasks, etc. My concept of BIM is really that we can go faster with some of the processes, and we can go faster because of the technology behind it, right? So I hear about the governments, I hear about the regulations, but when I hear it, it's just like, oh my God, you know, if we will have the regulation of the search industry before Google, we will never have Google, right? I'm just let them just deploy it. So the same thing with BIM, right? We need to push it. We need to be intelligent because there is a huge risk there in terms of the construction, the same as with the medical, with the same as the other regulated businesses, the finance, etc. But you know, we need to be smart. Don't rely on the government only.
Remember, Pietro, what we had with David Delgado? He was talking about this roof layer of regulation and so on. So this is something that is, we were talking about these barriers about BIM. So he mentioned this roof layer as an impediment to move forward with BIM in a way.
Yeah, no, this is the good debate, and I really like to just go and start to talking to some of the representative from the governments and the regulators really to talk about it, because it's, if they will start stopping it, and you know, this is huge industry in terms of the money. I really don't see how we will progress, you know, after transforming the industry, right? And that's our goal, really, just to make sure that the people understand it. What are the benefits? What are the success stories? How they can spend the time with value-added task on the construction, not only just pure, just like the transactional part. Yeah.
Well, let's move on, because we're going to start here in a depression loop. We keep talking about the regulation and so on, but today is about government and public administration, so we need to keep a bit of enthusiastic.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you. Okay, got it.
Well, same as when you, me, or whoever is trying to sell the services, you try to understand your customers' or needs to provide the best solution. Here's the same with public administration. So Vivian is going to talk to us now in the following clip how they try to understand the needs of the public administration to make BIM attractive to them and see the value that they know they have on it.
Okay.
Estos requerimientos inicialmente reconocimos que existen como dos niveles asociados a dos intencionalidades distintas. La primera intencionalidad es el por qué el ente que contrata requiere el activo y qué información requiere. El segundo es el nivel propio del proyecto. Entonces, una vez que definimos esto, entendemos que existe el B precontractual. Mucha de la información que está reflejada es la sumatoria del B precontractual, donde está la información del proyecto, y la sumatoria de los requisitos de información del ente público. ¿Okay? Existen, ese B precontractual recoge muchas de las demandas de cómo yo quiero que tú, yo ente público o ente contratante, quiero que tú me presentes la información, bajo qué parámetros vas a presentarme la información.
So quickly here, when she discussed about it, there's two different stages on this pre-contractual BIM execution plan. We define the goals, which is called the pre-contractual, and we understand the customer needs, and then we develop the project itself, no? to make sure that the criteria goes forward. This is something I don't see everywhere, but she made it clear definitions of what we discuss, and then we make it happen practically on the project itself.
Now, I see the big risk. I don't know, again, it's something with me. You know, I try to understand it. I was searching for money. Now I try to understand how this thing works. And I see the risk here, to be honest, Enrique. Because if you do this pre-construction or pre-project, after projects, that's a lot of places for corruption, in fact, on top of it. So
Totally.
I rather just thinking about, you know, I will just only select the people who can just fulfill this pre-construction, pre-what project. So it really just excludes some of the companies who are not. So that's a threat for me. The opportunity is that, you know, we will try to push it the whole market on the using the tools, etc. The risk is if there is a big vendor, the software vendor, who will push it saying this is my standard, then you will be locked off, right? Anyway, this is the hot topic, I think, for me, because I really have a lot of controversy here on the way how this is built. I'm not sure if the public is really the driver. It should be the facilitator, not the driver. But let's see.
Also, when we're trying to sell this to the public, they also need to see this value and receive this, right? Like, of course, there is places on hold for corruption over there, and this is why we're trying to implement with now an open BIM, so there is no favorite parts on it. For example, we're discussing about the software, right? The open BIM formats, IFC or BIM Color, anything, they are all progress still. They cannot fulfill all the needs from the public, from the private formats or the private software still. But slowly we're gonna get there, no? So is Maya like working only on the Microsoft Office package, or now you have also the idea to work on Google, or you can just work with TXT or XML file, no?
Yeah.
We are going towards this in BIM, and the idea would be like I put example of the software, but going forward to all the contracts, and you can extend to contractors and other companies, external consultants, so they need to be a preference because no one hold those services. For example, this ISO to get the certification. Only the company who had the ISO will be able to implement BIM. It's fair, it's not fair. We know what we think about the certifications, right? But this is how it is the world now, no?
No, but I think from the governmental perspective, from the public perspective, I think the biggest benefits of BIM will not be really on the construction side. Really, that's not on the projects, not on the building, but on the maintenance part, right? And I think that's really what I can see the biggest benefits as you run, because if you're governmental organization, public organization, you have 50,000 schools in the zone. You can plan correctly the maintenance if you know. You can do the purchase, the group purchasing if you know exactly what you need to do, etc., etc. And then that's the driver. What I can see on the design, I really see like a blockage part. But again, this is my small mind. And again, I'm not the civil engineer. I'm not an architect, but I just try to be pragmatic, the IT guy, really, from the process perspective, right? So.
That's where we make a couple, because like different minds and different different understanding here. Well, let's move on to the flow with Cliff. We're going to keep talking about the understanding of being on the public administration.
Bien, debemos entender que el BED existe dos momentos importantes, el BED precontractual y el BED postcontractual. El precontractual se enmarca en el proceso contractual como tal y define las características iniciales de exigencia del contrato. Define los usos BIM, el tipo de software que vamos a utilizar, cómo te vas a relacionar en el proceso porque tenemos otro actor. Tenemos el actor del Estado, el actor que nos está contratando y debemos entenderlos a ellos para involucrarlo en el proceso colaborativo de la ejecución del proyecto o la ejecución del objeto contractual, que puede ser ejecución de obra, mantenimiento. Tú debes entender quiénes son los pares técnicos de supervisión e inspección, cómo se van a vincular, si tienen un entorno común de datos privados o si no tiene un entorno común de datos privado, cuál es el que vamos a adoptar, de qué manera va a mantenerse ese entorno común de datos en torno al activo. Y dependiendo de la transferencia de esa información que se va a dar en el proyecto BIM. Entonces, esas fueron muchas inquietudes que nos hicimos, que fueron las motivaciones iniciales del abordaje de esa investigación.
So
the highlights of this part is really difficult to capture, to be honest. So we still repeat the same story as before. So I think
we're going from the same topic as before. There's not a different page on this one, but she's talking again about how to separate, like when we sit on the table and we agree to draft this project, the pre-contractual part of the BEP, and then we move forward for the pre-contractual part to review and see if the project itself, the range of application really meets the definitions meant. Also, and there she mentions the part of the CD, for example, which commanded environment are going to use, there is one defined, the software. So all these things we were mentioning before, they need to be clear stated on the beginning so everyone's understanding there is no favorite parts or like you can see there is not misleading on the information or selection of the services.
Very good. So I think that's I think we agreed on that one. I don't have any particular comments. I think that's similar for the previous one. So sorry for that.
It's fine. Good. We jump now on the next one, and this is a different topic. This is something interesting to consider. The chain values. At the end, we close the interview. Okay, we'll talk about the BIM in the public administration. So how the whole idea is how we put them together. How do we align those value chains? So Vivian is gonna give us some insights about it, and then with that we're gonna close the episode.
Acumula recursos públicos por diversos medios, de impuestos de diversos medios, para gestionar lo que es el gasto.
Claro.
Y cada etapa del gasto tiene un conjunto de dimensiones normativas, dimensiones procedimentales, dimensiones de exigencias de actores. Entonces, si entendemos la vinculación entre la cadena de valor del BIM con el sector público, podemos entender cuáles son los puntos de intersección que existen entre el BIM y el sector público. Por ejemplo, en el precompromiso es cuando planificamos, cuando hacemos un plan de inversión. Tenemos un conjunto de obras, el Estado define, bueno, vamos a invertir ahora a hospitales, escuelas, vialidades, bajo esta modalidad de método de entrega, se define, hay un conjunto de normativas que existen en el Estado y un conjunto de actores que definen ese plan de inversión. Entonces debemos entender dentro de nuestra cadena de valor que los objetivos y usos BIM en el plan de inversión deben ser reconocidos para poder entonces alinear lo que es la implantación BIM junto con lo que es la realidad del sector público.
I read the last sentence. How to align those two value chains. No, this is a good closing end for today's chapter. You guys can watch the full interview. Stop, watch the slide because that graphic also is showing in Spanish. Unfortunately, but we can provide some translation in English as well if demanded. Every process in BIM project, every process in the public administration project, they need to be aligned and coordinated. They need to be consequent with each other, right? Like you're kind of move forward with one intention and BIM goes to the direction. No? This really makes sense. I need to understand that to have a successful implementation.
I think we could. No, I understand the alignment. I think that's really crucial for all of the projects. So that's for me. It's also very important to make sure that we have the alignments. Still very reluctant in terms of the governmental, public, etc. But it's just maybe over the next change.
Like it or not, the government is going to play a very important role. And I tell you already, our upcoming guests, not all of them, but some of them, they're going to play a big important role on the public administration. So you'd rather be nicer to them, otherwise they won't come. And, oh no, actually, no, be tough on them, and let
No,
them
no,
convince
no,
because
I don't
I'm
want to
tired.
understand. Yeah, no, that's okay. It's just I just want to understand it how they can support the transformation, right? Not stop the
Yeah, yeah,
transformation.
totally.
It's
But
it's
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 not.
really, for me it's the most important because I see a lot of the people who are just talking about it but not doing anything right there. So just let's just let's try just to understand how they can support us.
So again, for next interview, I have an idea. We're gonna play a role. You play a role of the public government, and you're gonna try to make yourself convinced for that for next sketch. Okay.
Uh, okay, thank you.
Will you be able to? It's carnival season, so you can change your outfit for a government or any public
Okay,
administrator.
challenge taken. I will do. I will do. No problem. I can find. So
Fantastic.
thank you very much for all of you just for subscribing for our LinkedIn newsletter and also just for our YouTube channel. So that's really important for us. Thank you very much for that. I think what was the last count on the newsletter? I think we reached about the 5,000.
Over 6,000. Over 6,000. We're already on the newsletter. Every 2 Fridays, we're gonna release new articles. We're gonna last week, sorry, I think we start to push some of the interviews highlighted, so you can see the transcripts of the main moments of the interview in our newsletter as well, and link to the YouTube channel, to this YouTube channel and this podcast. So take a look on that. And today, new article coming as well. So keep an eye on it. You will receive notification. Don't forget the newsletter of this webinar as well. Okay.
Very good. So I think that's good. And just guys, I know that this is a lot to ask, but we have still the YouTube channel, which we will try to grow. Not really sure how we can do this. So just if you have any idea how to do this, that will be really good. The idea is not to have the publicity or whatever. It's just to really have the community which works on the two platforms. We try to
diversify. Yeah.
Thank you. Wow, that was a blockage. Diversify from LinkedIn and also just stay on the YouTube. So just we will have on the one side Microsoft, on the other side we have a Google, and try to build the two platforms in parallel to make sure that if something will happen, we will stay on one. And that's really just help us to subscribe, help us to grow this community as well on the YouTube. So I think it can be beneficial to all of us. That's again, this is no commercial activity, so we're doing this from our own purpose, and we try just to think how we can transform the whole industry in working on the new technology. So BIM is part of the tools which we are using.
Exactly. Well, guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much. We're gonna announce briefly that next episode is gonna be a special one. Okay, we're not gonna say anything else. It's gonna be a special one. You guys will see. So keep an eye on that. The setting is gonna be a bit different. Okay, you will understand soon. And also news coming from the events. We're gonna be present in some of the fairs happening in construction and BIM around Europe mainly. So for sure we're gonna be in Madrid, 28th, 9th, 30th March around the reveal event. We'll probably be sitting there. So our occasion to say hi, to have a real coffee, no virtual one like we have right now. Keep in mind these days, just bear in mind, we will make an announcement, no worries, but start to fill you with that information.
And then we will be in Cannes in MIPIM in March. I do not remember the dates, but
you won't remember because there are a hell of a bunch of dates. I remember they were like 10 days or so.
Oh my God, the finish is the disaster. Guys, thank you very much. Do not forget, just click the button. I'm just not sure where is the button. Here is the button. Click the YouTube, unsubscribe, go and just help us to grow the community. Let's rock 2023 with the new ideas how to really just speed up the transformation of the construction industry, guys. Thank you very much, Enrique, having me today.
Pleasure.
I'm just questioning, do we know who will be on the next week, or just you just make it story up?
No, secret.
Jesus, secrets are killing me. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Enrique. Have a great, happy Friday. And
likewise.
let's see what will happen next week.
Let's see. Bye, guys. Good Friday.
Thank you. Have a good one.